language.
Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text radio to 64,000. That's radio to 64,000.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
The station you know, the people you trust.
The Newswatch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, partly cloudy, 71 degrees at 8:40. I'm Mario Bosquez. Here is what's happening. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch, the latest from AccuWeather coming up. Speaking of which, a teen boy struck by lightning in Central Park, now hospitalized stable. A hate crimes investigation after threats to blow up a mayoral candidate's car. The president signaling he's going to hold off on attacking Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Broadway celebrates Juneteenth with a free concert in Times Square. Severe thunderstorm watch, AccuWeather for live update in a moment. The Yankees win. Winds News Time 8:41, traffic and transit now with Jody Vale.
We still have problems at the GWB. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. In at the George, upper and lower decks, still have about an hour wait from 8095 from that overturned tractor trailer on the eastbound cross Bronx earlier. It's been cleared. Those delays are starting to ease out, but your approach looks a lot better from Route 46. Taking off about 15 minutes that way. Outbound, about 10 to 15. Lincoln and Holland in, it's about 30 to 35. Moving on the outbound side. In New Jersey, we've got some problems. Old Bridge, Route 18. That's just a stop and go, and it's not moving. It looks like we have a crash there. And then a broken down vehicle on the Garden State Parkway. This is in the express lanes northbound, right near exit 127, and the right lane is blocked. Crash clearing. This is Route 46 eastbound Westminster Place and Lodi. And on the island, and the crash being cleared, Northern State Parkway eastbound between Roslyn Road and IU Willits Road. And I'm Jody Vale. Next report that's coming up at 8:51. 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM.
About 15 minutes away, apparently, from the ending of a severe thunderstorm watch. But let's get the specifics with AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson. Where do we stand?
Yeah, actually, it looks like that watch was just canceled, Mario. That severe thunderstorm watch that's been in effect throughout the afternoon and evening hours. So, again, it's been canceled as the severe threat pretty much over for the area. We still have some rain left over, mostly some light to moderate rain in the city through the Hudson Valley and southwest Connecticut. Even that's starting to move out, though, west of 287 in New Jersey. Things are starting to dry out a bit. And over the next several hours, this rain will come to an end, and we will see things clear out overnight. So, again, the severe threat looks to be just about over, and the focus now more toward the heat that's coming this weekend and into early next week. It looks like we'll have an official heat wave from Sunday through at least Wednesday of next week. Mario?
Keep it here for the latest from AccuWeather. Speaking of which, there was terror in Central Park as lightning strikes a teen boy.
This happened during a pop-up thunderstorm, and sources tell us the boy was leaning on a tree when he was struck by lightning. The 15-year-old is in stable condition at Weill Cornell Hospital. That's less than 2 miles away. This happened in a grassy section of the park known as East Meadow off 100th Street and 5th Avenue. There is a soccer ball and a bottle of water near the tree, but it's not known if they belong to the boy. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in East Harbor.
Winds News Time 8:43. A plan for Midtown rezoning advances to a city council vote after the City Planning Commission approved what's called the Midtown South Mixed Use Plan, which would allow nearly 10,000 new homes across 42 blocks between West 23rd, 40th, 5th, and 8th Avenues. Eric Botsford, who is the Manhattan Director for the Department of City Planning, tells us more here on 1010 Wins.
It's a really vibrant and dynamic area today, but it's also an area where decades-old zoning is holding back the full potential of this neighborhood.
The area today largely defined by commercial and industrial use. On Long Island, a driver is dead, historic building damaged after a crash in Manhasset.
When the Ford SUV crashed into the historic Quaker Meeting House and caught on fire, Nassau County Police Lieutenant Scott Skornicki says the driver died. He has not yet been identified.
What caused the auto accident, whether or not the driver had a medical episode, whether speed was a factor, whether the weather conditions were a factor.
The car was registered to a 41-year-old man from New Rochelle. Dick Lopez is a member of the meeting house. He says there was another fire here 300 years ago.
The wing that was hit is a new wing.
No one else was injured. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Manhasset, Long Island.
A shocking crime on Long Island as a father was convicted of sexually abusing his daughters when they were 8 and 10 years of age. Now he is to spend 48 years in prison for what the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office calls repeated sexual abuse. The girls testified against him.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
Cyberknife was truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
Come out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday, June 28th to see the Yankees on a very special day. It's Military Appreciation Day. The first 18,000 guests, 21 and older, will receive a Camel Yankees t-shirt courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, that's Military Appreciation Day on Saturday, June 28th. The first 18,000 guests, 21 and older, will receive a Camel Yankees t-shirt. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Only at Premier Lincoln in Brooklyn can you lease Lincoln Direct for much, much less.
At Premier Lincoln in Brooklyn, there are no price increases, only serious decreases on everything in stock. Driving a new Navigator has never been easier at Premier. $20,000 in discounts on every 2024 Navigator, exclusively at Premier Lincoln. Stop worrying and don't wait any longer because there are no price increases at Premier Lincoln, only decreases. There is never a wait when you need service on your Lincoln because at Premier Lincoln, there is never a service appointment necessary. You just come on in and get Brooklyn's best Lincoln service. Brand new 2024 Navigators with serious price decreases of $20,000 on every Navigator in stock. No price increases, only decreases at Premier Lincoln in Brooklyn. 5102 Kings Highway at Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. Don't miss it.
Is Premier Lincoln the best? Boy, I guess.
The Hate Crimes Task Force investigating with no arrest yet in connection with someone they say threatening to blow up mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani's car. Say police officials, the unidentified man also leaving voicemail threat at the assemblyman's office in Queens yesterday saying start your car, see what happens, and to check his beeper in apparent reference to the Israeli government's deadly pager attacks targeting the Hezbollah terror organization in Lebanon last year. We're also reporting a rash of voicemails, anti-Muslim statements by the unknown suspect. The additional voicemails, they say, sent in recent weeks. This as Mamdani's campaign higher security amid the threats. In a statement, his campaign said in part, while Zohran does not own a car, the violent and specific language of what appears to be a repeat caller is alarming. We're taking every precaution. Welcoming cheers for a former hostage.
After nearly 600 days of being held hostage by Hamas, Adon Alexander is back in his hometown of Tenafly, New Jersey.
Welcome home, Adon. We are so happy you are here.
A police motorcade escorting Adon home, who rolled down his window, high-fiving and shaking hands with young men.
The handshake was very strong and firm.
Joan, one of many here from the Tenafly community, brought her entire family.
My son, Gavi Vidra, was in school with Adon. We are all just so happy for the family.
As Adon drives down the streets, he'll see Israeli flags and signs with his face on it, reading, "Welcome home." Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Tenafly, New Jersey.
Signals there is a holding off on attacking Iran's nuclear infrastructure.
The president has alternately made comments about attacking and negotiating. So White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt made this announcement.
I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks."
When asked if the president would go to Congress to seek war authority before striking Iran, Secretary Leavitt said only that she would not engage in hypotheticals.
Linda Kenyon. At the same time, Tehran neighborhood said to be emptying out as Israel and Iran continue to exchange barrages. The possible U.S. shutdown of TikTok ticking perhaps a little slower?
President Trump said on social media Thursday morning he signed an executive order to keep TikTok up and running. The order extends the deadline for 90 days. This is the third time the president has paused enforcement of a bipartisan bill passed by Congress last year that required Chinese company ByteDance to sell its U.S. business or face a nationwide ban. The White House says the president doesn't want TikTok to go dark. And during this 90-day period, the administration will work to ensure the deal with ByteDance is closed so Americans can keep using TikTok and feel confident their data is safe and secure. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Intriguing new information shedding light on humankind's journey as a new study shows early humans adapted to Africa's diverse environments before migrating abroad. The study published in the scientific journal Nature revealing that Homo sapiens expanded their ecological niche within Africa between 70,000 and 50,000 years ago, developing the flexibility, it says, to adapt to a wider range of environments. That's being described as a key to success. Sabrina Carpenter is said to be considering banning phones at her concerts. The Espresso singer said that her opinion on having phones at concerts changed after she attended a Silk Sonic concert in Las Vegas in which she had to lock up her own phone, saying she had never had a better experience at a concert, admitting, though, the move will probably upset her fans, although she used more colorful language to say that, when asked about the possibility of requiring concert goers to drop their phones into pouches during her shows. Keep you posted. Wednesday, Sunday, 51. Time for traffic and transit. Let's listen up to Jody Vale.
Yeah, we still have the problems at the GWB. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George, upper and lower decks. It's about an hour away from 8095. And out to Webster Avenue on the eastbound cross Bronx. Your approach in looks better from Route 46, by the way. It takes up about 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound's about 10 to 15 minutes at the George. Lincoln and Holland, 30 to 35 in, moving on the outbound side. And we have delays at the outer bridge from Jersey into Staten Island. Goethals also packed into Staten Island. And in New Jersey, got turnpike delays at the merge for the Spurs. There's a crash. Northbound Eastern Spur right at the merge, blocking a lane, still being cleared. Broken down vehicle also being cleared. Garden State Parkway. This is in the express lanes, northbound near 127 Woodbridge Township. East side of Manhattan still clearing out. This car that's just been there for quite a while, a disabled truck. It's a southbound FDR ramp, 71st Street. We're seeing some jams. Still going back to the East 80, so you may want to take 2nd Avenue as an option. West side's not bad at all. Jody Vale, next report's coming up at 9:01. 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
On to the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson. Brian.
Yeah, Mario, the severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled as the severe threat pretty much over across the area. We are still seeing a little bit of rain, and that's continuing around the city through Long Island, up and through the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. Starting to see the rain winding down across much of New Jersey at the moment, although there is some rain across South Jersey. If that continues to move to the northeast, might still get a little bit of rain. So at least for the next few hours, we'll still have a little bit of rain around, but that'll be coming to an end, and then the sky will clear into the overnight hours. The humidity will start to drop. The low of 67. So the air tomorrow will have more of a refreshing feel to it, especially given how steamy it was at times today after those storms came through this afternoon. So the humidity will be noticeably lower. It's still going to be a warm day with a high of 85. Well, with more sun than clouds, vast majority of the area is going to stay dry tomorrow. There might be a late day or early evening thunderstorm in a few spots well north and west. That's about it, though. So after we get to 85 tomorrow, mainly clear, muggy tomorrow night, low 71. Partly to mostly sunny, very warm on Saturday. Still not all that humid with a high of 88, but the humidity will be more noticeable by Sunday. A hot day with a good deal of sunshine and a high near 90, and the heat wave is going to be building into Monday and Tuesday. Right now, still raining. We're at 73 degrees, and Midtown we're going down to 67. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
This is Alexander Kemp, the Administrative Vice President of TWU Local 100, as we honor the historical legacy of Juneteenth, a day that marks the end of slavery in the United States. It is a turning point in our country's pursuit of equality for everyone. At TWU Local 100, we believe that the values behind Juneteenth, freedom, progress, and solidarity aren't just ideals, they're commitments. Today, we honor the past, celebrate the present, and look forward to a better future for everyone. We are TWU Local 100, the heartbeat of New York City.
I've been hearing about the HPV vaccine. Did you get it for Ellie?
Yep, gotta keep her protected.
Against cervical cancer, right?
It protects boys too, from throat and penile cancer.
Good to know.
For nearly 20 years, the HPV vaccine has been proven safe and effective at reducing HPV infections that can lead to cancer. Vaccination is recommended starting at age 9. Protect their future with the HPV vaccine. Talk to your child's doctor today.
It is New York. There's always something to do this weekend. Sponsored by Resorts World Casinos in New York City, Catskills, Hudson Valley, and by Spector and Associates, serious injury law firm.
Float away to Bubble Planet at American Dream. Voyage through fantastical pastel landscapes designed to appeal to all 5 senses. From the bubble ocean to the bubble bath, your journey into the surrealistic Bubble Planet begins at bubble-planet.com. All ages welcome. The Queen's Botanical Garden is an urban oasis where people, plants, and culture come together. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Queen's Botanical Garden has grown from a 5-acre exhibit into a 39-acre green escape in the heart of Flushing. Plan your visit at queensbotanical.org. And that's some things to do this weekend. I'm 94.7 The Block's Shelley Wade for 1010 Wins.
Broadway celebrating Juneteenth, free concert in Times Square.
The show began with the Black National Anthem, but Wicked star Natasha Yvette Williams said it's more than just a celebration of her ancestors.
We're also saying to the world, Broadway is inclusive, and there's space for everyone, whether you're black, white, woman, gay.
2025 Tony Award nominee John Michael Hill co-hosted. The star of Purpose said in tough times there is also joy.
And there are amazing things still happening on Broadway, Black to Broadway, all these folks out here doing incredible stuff.
This year's honoree is Andre DeShields, the veteran Broadway actor who won a Tony for Hadestown. Marla Diamond, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Times Square.
Now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
And now, 56 years after U.S. astronauts' lunar landing, a Texas home builder is shooting for the moon.
Icon's Project Olympus is a robotic, autonomous construction system specifically for the moon and eventually Mars.
Evan Jensen, VP of Strategic Research and Development at Texas-based Icon.
So essentially, you bring just the tools, none of the materials, and you can build what you need to live off the land.
On Earth, Icon uses special concrete and 3D printers to build. In the lunar plan, the autonomous robot could use regolith or moon dust and be
able to build things like landing pads, roads, protective structures, eventually habitats.
Icon space architect Melanie Ashar says the shape of space structures will be different from your typical home.
We conceived of a torus-shaped habitat that could house a crew of 4 astronauts.
And Ashar says this could all be only a couple of decades away. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Denise Pellegrini for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Now a commercial message. I'm Larry Mullins. Personal injury should equal personal attention. That's what you get at Spector & Associates Serious Injury Law Firm. They understand accidents and represent people who have been seriously injured. Spector & Associates is based in New York and will help. Injured? Call them first. 800-318-8888. Spector & Associates has recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. Have you been involved in any kind of accident? Visit their website, crashinjury.com, or call 800-318-8888. The attorneys at Spector & Associates are fierce in getting you the money you deserve. Call them first, 800-318-8888. That's 800-318-8888. Or visit their website, crashinjury.com.
Spector & Associates, your serious injury lawyers. 800-318-8888.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans and vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes
sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
WINS FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
AccuWeather, well, that severe thunderstorm watch has expired, says AccuWeather. Otherwise breezy, quite humid, couple of showers, thunderstorms still possible, and eastern possible, severe winds and hail. Low 67 overnight clearing, breezy, lower humidity. Keep it here for the latest from AccuWeather. More people get their news from 1010 Winds and from any other radio station in the nation. John Davis, Service Aide, Sweet Tina Kakar, Editor's Desk. I'm Mario Bosquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
73 degrees, now light rain in the city at 9 o'clock. Good evening, I'm Lane Bajardi, and here's what's happening. And to deal with severe thunderstorms that move through the area today, we'll check in with AccuWeather. A teenage boy was struck by lightning in Central Park's East Meadow this afternoon. The NYPD Hate Crimes Task Force looking into alleged anti-Muslim threats against mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. The LA Dodgers say they've turned away masked ICE agents in several vans who attempted to access stadium parking lots. Mayor Adams just awarded the key to the city to the late Congressman Charlie Rangel. Sports, the Yankees snapped their six-game losing streak. The Mets are looking to avoid their sixth straight loss in Atlanta tonight. Your AccuWeather details in just a minute. Winds News Time, 9:01, traffic and transit with Jody Bay.
You want to take it slow tonight, local flooding, wet roadways, and a lot of jams. In Queens, got the southbound Cross Island at a crawl down in Northern Boulevard, coming back to Bell Boulevard, and Clearview is a little better. LIE is super slow both ways between the Cross Island and Utopia Parkway. In Brooklyn, inbound BQE doing its BQE thing, taking its time from the Gowanus Merge up to the Brooklyn Bridge. Outbound's not so great either. And the East River crossings, Brooklyn Bridge, that is jam-packed Brooklyn bound. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, Hudson River crossings, in at the George, upper and lower decks. It's still about 45 minutes from 8095 out to Webster Avenue, eastbound Cross Bronx. The approach looks better from Route 46, takes off about 10 to 15. Outbound's about 10 to 15. Lincoln and Holland still looking at a half an hour wait in and moving on the outbound side. Traffic sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Don't get duped by low advertised prices on pre-owned cars. Once you try to buy one, the final price will end up being thousands more. Come to Major World for transparent pricing and no surprises. Major World, 4340 Northern Boulevard, Long Island City, Queens. Call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. Go to MajorWorld.com. I'm Jody Vale. Next report's at 9:11. 1010 Winds and 92.3 FM.
So we've seen some drenching thunderstorms in spots during the afternoon and evening hours. We have the latest on the situation now from meteorologist Brian Thompson.
With the threat of severe weather now behind us, we now look ahead to a heat wave that's coming our way as we head into the weekend and into the early part of next week. We'll start to see temperatures bounce back into the upper 80s on Saturday, and it will be more humid into Sunday with temperatures up close to 90. And this is going to be an extended heat wave that takes us likely through at least Wednesday of next week, and high temperatures could get well into the 90s with AccuWeather real field temperatures pretty close to 100 as we get into the early part of next week.
Logging into 1010 Winds for frequent AccuWeather updates. All this comes after earlier lines of storms toppled trees and led to a life-threatening lightning strike in Central Park.
There is scattered debris, including a soccer ball and a water bottle in the area where this happened, which was the East Meadow off 100th Street and 5th Avenue. The 15-year-old boy is in stable condition after being taken to Weill Cornell Hospital, which is less than 2 miles away. Sources say it was here where the boy was leaning against one of several tall trees on the outskirts of the field when he was hit by lightning around 3:45 in the afternoon during a pop-up thunderstorm. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in East Harlem.
The NYPD Hate Crimes Task Force is investigating alleged threats against one of the leading mayoral candidates tonight.
As Assembly member Zoran Mamdani is on the campaign trail, running for New York City mayor, his office says they're working with the NYPD's Hate Crimes Task Force after a series of death threats and anti-Muslim voicemails, including an anonymous caller saying they were going to bomb his car. Mamdani's team confirms he doesn't own a car, but he did call the threats alarming and not surprising.
A very sad burden of what it means to be the first Muslim candidate to run for mayor.
Mamdani opened up during a press event on Wednesday about Islamophobia, which he believes is fueling the hate.
To be called an anti-Semite, it pains me.
The NYPD says Mamdani received 4 voicemails that were both threatening and racist. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
About 2 months ago, President Trump was asked if he could trust Vladimir Putin to make a peace deal with Ukraine. He said he would let us know in 2 weeks. There's been no update. Now the president says he'll decide whether the U.S. will directly bomb targets in Iran in 2 weeks.
The president has been talking about the possibility of joining Israel in strikes against Iran and its nuclear program.
You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt read a statement from the president.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
Leavitt was asked why the president thinks there is a substantial chance of negotiations.
I'm not going to get into the reasoning and the rationale the president believes that, but that's his position.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the president will do what's best for America. Iran has long maintained its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The city is now one step closer to changing zoning regulations to allow for building homes in an area where few people live. The plan is to rezone for 10,000 new apartments from 23rd to 40th Streets between 5th and 8th Avenues. Eric Botsford is Manhattan Director for the City Planning Commission.
It's really incredible to think that 42 blocks in the center of everything, the heart of Manhattan, with amazing access to transit, amazing access to jobs, is a place where New Yorkers can't live today.
30% of the units would become income restricted as opposed to previous Midtown rezoning plans that brought us half-empty super tall apartment buildings for billionaires. That was put in motion during the Bloomberg administration. Still, Peg Breen, president of the New York Landmarks Conservancy, says the council should revise this plan since the Planning Commission has ignored their suggestions.
Historic districts aren't frozen zones. They've all grown and changed through the years. But with LPC approval, they've also maintained their character. This would be a major disruption.
Proposal now in the hands of the council. A driver from Westchester is dead after a horrific crash into a historic building on Long Island.
The SUV is so smashed up and burned, it's hardly recognizable. It looks like a mangled piece of metal. Nassau County Police Lieutenant Scott Skornicki says the driver went through the intersection and slammed into the historic Quaker Meeting House. The car then burst into flames. The driver was killed.
The vehicle is registered to a 41-year-old man who resides in New Rochelle, New York. Because of the condition of the body, we have not yet confirmed the identity of the driver.
Meeting House member Dick Lopez says there was another fire at the house in the early 1700s.
It's used as a meeting place. It's used for homeschooling.
One side of the house needs to be rebuilt. No one else was injured. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Manhasset, Long Island.
The scene just outside the entrance to Dodger Stadium parking lot says Angelenos turned out to denounce masked ICE agents massing in a caravan of unmarked vans, seeking to enter the property.
The Dodgers posted on social media that ICE agents came to the stadium this morning and requested permission to access the parking lots. They were denied entry, and the organization says tonight's game will be played as scheduled. In a statement, the LAPD said officers were called to address a growing crowd of protesters outside the parking lot. They responded and assisted with keeping the peace.
Correspondent Stacey Lynn, the ICE move on Chavez Ravine came just a day after the Dodgers said they would be announcing plans to assist immigrant communities affected by the ICE raids. President Trump has granted yet another extension for TikTok to continue in the U.S.
The president has given the social media platform another 90 days to find an American-based owner. This is the third time Trump has extended the deadline for TikTok to spin off from the Chinese-owned company ByteDance. A previous deal fell apart after China backed out following the president's announcement of massive trade tariffs against China.
Correspondent Linda Kenyon, ChatGPT touting itself as a way to help with writing. But a new study from the MIT Media Lab finds the artificial intelligence tool may be doing more harm than good.
People who use ChatGPT to help write SAT-style essays consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels, according to researchers at MIT. Another group who used no technological aids were found to exhibit more brain function when writing, especially around creativity and memory load. The study is small and not peer-reviewed, though the researchers behind it say it was necessary to publish now because of the pace at which AI is being adopted. Mike Dubusky, ABC News for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Compassion is a very important word, especially in today's world. The need for a very special kind of compassion becomes especially poignant within the tenets of the Jewish tradition and Jewish funeral service. Riverside Memorial Chapel, the largest source of Jewish funeral professionals in the New York area, has set the standard for that very special kind of compassion and trust since 1897. For generations, leaders from Charles Rosenthal to Charles Solomon have practiced their beliefs that Jewish funeral service is not merely a business, but a solemn trust to the families they serve. Compassion is the most important word, and the understanding of the true meaning of the word compassion as it relates to individual needs is what has made Riverside Memorial Chapel the source of support for the Jewish people since 1897. Call 212-362-6600 or visit riversidememorialchapel.com.
Wins News Time, 9/11. Traffic and transit with Jody Vale.
Well, let's go to the Bronx. Has lots of problems tonight. Here's another one. Crash now on the northbound Deegan. Sedgwick Avenue jams. They're going back to the Cross Bronx. And Cross Bronx is still pretty slow, especially eastbound from that earlier overturned tractor trailer right near Jerome. We're still seeing those delays out to Webster Avenue. You've got quite the wait at the George Washington Bridge. So here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. In at the George, upper and lower decks, it's still about 45 minutes from 8095, and your approach looks a little better from Route 46, taking off about 10 to 15. Outbound's about 10 minutes. And Lincoln and Holland, we're looking at about a half an hour wait in, moving on the outbound side. Let's go to Jersey. Turnpike jams at the merge for the Spurs. Crash northbound Eastern Spur at the merge. That's been cleared out. Still slow in the northbound Western Spur. Just a lot of volume between Route 3 and the merge. Garden State Parkway delays have cleared out. In Connecticut, seeing Greenwich is packed on the northbound Connecticut Turnpike. That's that construction zone. Right lane is closed between exit 5 and exit 8 for Atlantic Street. Merritt is moving. Jody Vale, next report's at 9:21. 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
Together, let's drive a Paramus Chevrolet for $449 a month and $27.17 down. Lease a brand new Traverse 4D Wagon LT with front-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying, enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast from meteorologist Brian Thompson.
We'll still have a bit of rain and perhaps a rumble of thunder early tonight, then clearing and breezy with lowering humidity late. So the low around 67. It's going to be a breezy, warm day tomorrow with more sun than clouds and lower humidity. Could have a late day or early evening thunderstorm at a few spots north and west of the city. Tomorrow's high around 85. Mainly clear and muggy tomorrow night, a low of 71. Very warm into Saturday. The humidity's still not all that bad. We'll have a partly to mostly sunny sky. Saturday's high about 88. Then Sunday hot and more humid. We'll have a good deal of sunshine, a high close to 90, and high temperatures likely into the 90s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Light rain falling, 72 degrees. Bruce Springsteen has some new old music to release. Details ahead.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA, and credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The thrills never stop at Empire City Casino. You can win big with non-stop action, including electronic table games and over 4,400 of the hottest slots. Indulge in one-of-a-kind flavors at our amazing restaurants. Spin and win cash, free play, and unforgettable trips. This is your chance to drive away in a brand new car during our monthly giveaways. More play, more perks. Earn it all here with MGM Rewards, only at Empire City Casino. Ride the thrill. Must be 18 years of age or older to play New York Lottery games. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 to join MGM Rewards.
The business world is evolving, but saving wherever possible remains smart business. That's why PSE&G designed many different programs to help you save on energy costs. Our experts will help find the energy solutions that are the right fit for you, your business,